In this video, we will cover everything you need to know to get started in this game. Honkai Star Rail will be extremely familiar if you played Genshin Impact before. It's another game by Hoyoverse, so you should definitely check it out if you haven't. Anyway, Honkai Star Rail is a turn-based game where futuristic technology takes place, and you will notice some characters if you played Honkai Impact 3rd before. All the basics are explained when you start the game, so I will quickly give you recaps on what you need to pay attention to. In the beginning, they will teach you about the weakness of the enemy. Your character of element will always attack in that element, and you want to pay attention to the top of the monster's HP bar. It will show you what element they are weak to with element symbols, and thanks to the UI, you will immediately know if your character's attack is the weakness for the enemies or not. Alright, that is the basics, and we will get back to this later. Another thing you need to know about the game system is that there is a stamina you can use daily. It is called the Trailblaze Power, and it takes 6 minutes to generate one. It is capped at 180, so it takes 18 hours to fully regenerate from 0, which means in order for you to not miss out on anything, you need to at least log in twice a day and use them. These can be used to farm character EXPs, credits, and relics. Relics are equipments, and Lightcones is like weapons in this game. When you first find your Calyx, make sure you do 1 to 2 runs ASAP, because that's what consumes Trailblaze Power. While you're doing the quest, they will regenerate anyways. When the game stops you from progressing in quests, make sure you check the top right, go to the operation briefing here, and daily training. You can get a lot of rewards, including the Trailblaze EXPs, which would help you progress eventually in the game. You don't have to try your best to push contents as fast as you can unless you're like a content creator like me, because you'll be capped eventually in late game. However, if you wish to, you may use up your currencies early game and buy out Trailblaze Power and farm for more to level up fast. When your world level goes up, you can get more rewards from the power you spend. So the most efficient way is for you to farm as soon as you hit certain level in the game. I'm predicting maybe 45 or 50 is when you go all in for 5-star relics, but we don't know for sure at the moment. I will cover those once I find out on my channel in the future. But please hold on to the fuel because those stay in your inventory. They can be used later in the future, so even if you're a whale, hold on to those until you can farm the hardest difficulty in relic dungeons. If you need to level your characters, make sure you go back to the Calyx you found before and farm for character EXPs and level characters that does damage. However, now here you might think, wait, what should I level first? You can feel free to level up your main character, since they're guaranteed to be somewhat useful in early game. I wish I was able to tell you more, but the closed beta test suggested that main characters can be used anywhere. But we should progress cautiously because resources are very important to progress fast, so level up just so that it's enough for you to get past the quests. When you summon for characters, make sure you summon on the departure warp, because this is the banner that guarantees you 5-star if you do 50 summons on it. In a game like this, AoE characters are preferred to progress faster, but it also depends on elements and how the game places monsters in stages. I will be streaming this game from day 1 and progress as fast as possible to give you reliable recommendations on characters, so make sure you hit that subscribe button with alert settings on because you will not want to miss them. There are 7 standard banner characters, and let me quickly go over them real quick so you know what you have or will pull from the departure warp. Bailu is a lightning healer that can heal allies and help reduce damage taken. Oh, and also, Bailu can revive a character that dies in battlefield once in a battle. However, if she dies, she cannot revive herself, so keep that in mind. Healers in this game is really important as you get to the late game, so Bailu at the moment is very important character in the game. Gepard is an ice tank that applies shield for his allies, and he gets res when he gets killed. His damage is also increased by his defense, so you should build him all defense without worrying about DPS loss. Himeko is a AoE fire DPS. She does extra fire AoE hits when enemies are taken down 3 times. You should focus on her damage more than speed because of this passive. Welt is an imaginary controller. He slows down enemies' speed and delays actions, which means you want to build him with speed. Bronya is going to be considered one of the best characters in the game because she has a skill to buff an ally's attack and bring them to take action immediately. She also buffs damage to all allies just by being in a team. If you got her, congratulations, she's an S tier character. Clara is a physical tanker that focuses on taunting enemies and countering. Yanqing is a ice single target DPS that gets massive crit bonus. He also gets his speed buff when he lands crit. Honestly, I don't think you need to reroll in this game because all the standard banner characters are useful. Then, there is going to be the first banner character, Seele. She is a single target quantum DPS that gets extra turn when she kills an enemy. Keep that in mind that she only can get extra turn once per turn. She will do massive damage if you build her full damage, but it is okay for you to mix with speed depending on the situations. What about the 4-star characters? Don't worry, I got you covered. Natasha is a physical healer, and she is good to have if you don't have Bailu. Shampoo is a wind DPS, and his ultimate has AoE. Sadly, he doesn't look so special to me at this time. Pella is a ice defense breaker and a buff remover. Turn-based game, defense breaker, and buff remover. What more can I say? You should definitely work on her if you want more damage and more ice. Tingyon is a lightning attack buffer, and you do extra lightning damage from the buffed allies to the target enemies when she normal attacks. Asta is a fire speed buffer. Her skills hit multiple times to the enemy, which helps you break shield fast. Chinke is a quantum gambling DPS character. You heard it right, she gets a random tile from 3 different suits when ally gets a turn. You can use her when you need quantum element. Serval is a lightning DPS. She is okay in the beginning, nothing too special, but that is the fate of a DPS character, right? Herta, also known as a Krukru girl, is a very useful DPS in the beginning. When the enemy's HP drops below 50%, she does a follow-up AoE attack. Sushang is a single target physical DPS that has interesting mechanics. Her ultimate brings her action to 100% when there are enemies on the field with weakness break. Her action is advanced by 50% if she uses basic attack or skills. She seems to be very viable physical DPS early game, and perhaps late game. Hook is a fire DPS that utilizes burn. When she attacks enemies with burn, she deals additional damage and heals herself. However, she needs to burn the enemy, and if there's by any chance like resistance for burn, then she will kind of fall off. So I would say wait until we get to the late game to decide whether if you should be using Hook or not. Lastly, Arlan. He is a lightning DPS that does massive damage when he has low HP. His skills consumes his HP, and he gets bonus damage as his HP gets lower. In addition, when he is below 30% of his max HP, he heals 20% of his HP when he defeats an enemy. He can also survive a lethal strike, so if you like to live on the edge, he's gonna be the guy for you. It is too early in the game for us to trust a tier list, so I discourage you to trust them. You should rather know what the characters do in your roster, so that you can advance faster in the game. I like how there are a lot of great 4-star characters in the Honkai Star Rail, so that you can fill in the missing roles even if you don't get a lot of 5-star characters. In the next Honkai Star Rail video, I will cover some of the notable 4-star Lightcones and secrets to advance faster. I hope this video helps you understand about the game and characters, and thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.